Good afternoon. Today I'm going to attempt to make some enchiladas in the oven after I prepare them, put them together. I'm going to make some homemade lentil tortillas because we don't do flour. I'm going to use some of my marinara sauce that I canned, a chicken breast, some beans that I pre-cooked last night, some pinto beans. So I'm going to get my rice started and get my vegetables out and start to assemble this. So come along. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that I always rinse my rice and wash it well. And I rinse it until the water runs clear. A little bit more. Okay. Now we're just going to let that set in water here for a while, about 20 minutes, as I start my tortillas. I'm going to use my food processor to make my paste for the lentil bean tortillas. Now you want to pre-soak your lentils for at least 3 hours before you turn them into a liquid batter. Now these have actually soaked overnight. I had them prepared, and then instead of cooking them yesterday, I decided to leave them in the refrigerator overnight, which you can do. So what you want to do is you'll soak for at least 3 hours red lentils. They're the best ones for tortillas. You're going to soak 1 cup of lentil beans to 2 cups of water. And then you're going to turn these into a liquid paste so that you can pour them onto your hot griddle and make tortillas. That's all that's required. Now, if you wanted to put in some spices, you could. I'm going to have spices in my food, so I don't think I need to put it in the tortilla, but you can if you would like. So let's get this turned on and get these pulsated. Now you can use a blender, a food processor, a little hand blender which mushes things, which is what I'm going to move to now to make sure I get them all mushed up real well. And we'll continue to get those processed. You can see where they're turning into a very nice liquid, but we want that all mixed up nicely. So let me continue to get these pulsated. And I'm going to use my little hand mixer. Which is this gadget. I really like these. All right, we're almost there. So you can't rush this when it comes to mixing up the lentils. You gotta just let it do its thing. And again, this is 1 cup of lentil beans soaked for at least 3 hours and 2 cups of water. And you will make this batter so you can make tortillas. So when making these tortillas, you'll want to make sure that you use a stick-free skillet. I'm making a small one to start because the first one's always the worst. So you make sure you use a stick-free skillet. And to be safe, I always spray just a little bit of spray oil to make sure it doesn't stick. Have your skillet hot. I have mine on a 5, which is a medium temperature. You're gonna put in the amount you want and just kind of smooth it around a little bit, like so. You can make these as thin as you want by smoothing them out more. I want to make it big enough for a nice little enchilada. There we go. But look how beautiful these turn out. They're tasty, they're flexible, Look at that. Isn't that great? And they taste good. So you want to let these cook till it bubbles up like a pancake. I'm gonna have some more of this. This is really good. Look at that. It's still a little wet right there, so we're gonna leave it alone. Like I say, you should be able to get about 6 tortillas out of a batch. How nice that is. It's like making pancakes, but you do it with lentil beans. Those are really good. Can't wait till you try them and let me know your take on them. Those are good. Okay, and that's how easy it is to make tortillas. Next part is I want to make the rice. Let me get some oil on the bottom. Let my skillet warm up. Okay, let's get the rice in there. Get some water on it. And we're going to cover it, leave it alone. Okay, the next thing I want to do is get the chicken shredded. And I'm going to use my food processor again to do that. And the chicken came right out of my freezer. I let it thaw, and now I'm going to shred it. Very nice. Now we can cook it. So I hate when this happens. I was recording with my camera up there above the stove. It wasn't on. So let me recap what this is. So in this skillet here, I put in the shredded chicken from the freezer, shredded it in my food processor, put it in my skillet right there, and added a half a chicken bouillon. I then let it cook down with a little bit of oil and decided that at that point I could start adding ingredients. So I put a teaspoon of my spicy chili crisp in there because we're gonna have a Mexican style dinner. I want a little bit of pop tonight. So I put a teaspoon of this in, stirred it up. Then I went and opened up a jar of my homemade marinara sauce that I made, as you saw, and canned. It's been 3 weeks ago. Smells so good. My marinara sauce is homemade, is what I poured in here. A little over half a jar. My marinara sauce has in it, of course, homemade tomatoes frozen from the freezer. Fresh store-bought, fresh garlic, cilantro, onion, yogurt, plain yogurt, and I made a marinara sauce. Dumped it in on my chicken, stirred it together, and this is what we've got. And that looks beautiful, and it's gonna give a taste test. OMG, that's some good stuff right there. Whew, child, that's good. Then I turned my beans back on that I cooked partially yesterday. Lock them in the refrigerator all night in the pan of water. If not, put them back on the stove to let them cook a little bit longer so that I can add everything together, including my white rice. Let's test it. Nice and fluffy. That's done. So we'll turn the skillet off. And I now have all my skillets turned off. 3 ingredients to put into my homemade lentil bean tortillas. So let's get them put together. So I have all the ingredients here I need to put my enchiladas together for the oven. Let's get started. I'm going to first put in some rice into my bowl. I'm going to mix it together. It'll just be easier to put it in the enchilada. So we got the rice. And I want to get some beans in there. Look at me with my lazy self. Pinto beans. Now what's nice about all this, whatever I don't use, I can freeze. Let's get the chicken in there. I'm going to use it all. Look at that. So now I'm going to stir it together. Mix it all together. Boy, that really smells good. Looks good too, huh? Then I can decide if I want any more beans in there. I think I do. But boy, that looks good. Yummy. Then a few more beans. Okay. Mix that up. So here's a little taste test again. Everything together. Wow, you must try this recipe at home. You must. Kevin's gonna love it. Okay, let's get this in my baking pan. And again, for those who've been to my channel before, you know I love to use parchment paper because it makes cleanup easy. And it makes getting them food out of the dishes easy. All right, let's get started with that. There we go. All right, so, and I think what I'll do instead of trying to roll these up, I'm gonna fold them in half. Just fold them in half. So let's get these out of my way and we'll start one at a time. Okay, so let's get some beans and rice and chicken in there. That look great. Yummers. I want to put in a little bit of shredded cheddar. Like so. And we'll get it folded in half. And let's put it in our little baking dish. Just like that. Beautiful. Let's do another one. Okay. Cheddar cheese. Fold it in half. And in it goes. How beautiful those look. Now I'm going to use some more of my marinara sauce and put it right over the top. Isn't that nice? Might as well use it all. Look at that. Then I want to top it off with a little bit of Parmigiano. This is real Parmigiano. There's no cellulose in there. It's pure Parmigiano cheese. On top. All right. So then I'm going to bake these in the oven at 400 degrees for probably 20 minutes. I'm going to cover it with tin foil when I put it in the oven, and I'm going to put just a drop of water in the bottom to keep it moist. And I'll let these cook for about 20 minutes. Believe it or not, it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My dinner's ready. my mess is cleaned up. And now all I have to do is wait for Kevin and Coach to say, what's for dinner? And I'll be ready to serve. So I will pick you back up after these come out of the oven and show you the end result. Stick around. All right, so my oven is on. We'll put a little bit of water in the enchiladas. And they'll go in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. And then we'll eat. Kevin's decided he wants them for a late lunch. Okay, so the enchiladas are done, and let's get them out of the oven. They smell wonderful. Alrighty. Don't those look great? Beautiful. Let's get one out of the bowl and take a look at it. Here's why I like parchment paper. Let's do it this way, watch. Take that right out of there. Set it right on the plate. No mess really to clean up. Out of my way. Look how beautiful that looks. Isn't that great? Now once that cools off, that's going to be delicious. I'm going to take a bite. So we put on a little bit of sour cream. Sprinkle a little hot sauce. And let's give that a try. I'm right-handed. That looked great. This is one of my best dishes by far. You have got to try this. As you saw, those tortillas are extremely easy to make. And all the ingredients, fresh out of my cupboard, pre-prepped. Bought at an affordable price. Didn't have to run out to the grocery store, pick anything up at the last minute. That looked great. These are so good. Wow. Sometimes I nail it. I'm gonna go give the rest of this to Kevin. He'll enjoy it. What a little surprise. Thanks for coming along. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. Until next time, ciao.